Hey dirt bike lovers, I'm Kris Keefer with RacerXOnline.com and you're looking at a 2024 Honda CRF450RX garage build. Of course, you guys know Dirt Bike TV, Jay Clark, he does a lot of these builds for us and he brought his personal 2024 Honda CRF450RX. I have had some time on the RX right here in my backyard in the lovely high desert of California. One of my favorite places to go riding. Still has some moisture in it, so we're gonna have a good time today. But before we go out, I really wanna get Jay in here to kind of go over this whole bike to tell you what you guys can do on your new RX.
Hey, thanks, Chris. I love building ththese bikes, as you know, and it's really fun. And before anybody thinks I've gone crazy and lost my mind, I don't ride 450s very much, okay? I'm not a 450 guy. I'm older, been a lifetime novice, and I do like riding the 450s and 500s on the dual sports. But this time, I'm building this bike kind of specifically for my son Spencer, who's 22, turning 23. He's a little bit bigger, and he's a lot better rider than I am. And off-road, we want to try this Honda. We've always liked Hondas over the years. The fit, the finish, everything about the bike, how you feel, just feels really at home. Even when I'm off one for a long time, I hop on, I just feel really good on there. And so this RX, the motor's plenty strong for us, but we wanted to run really, clean and twisted development. Jamie has an ECU for that, so we got that in here with the FMF exhaust, the Rekluse clutch, and as far as some protection pieces and durability issues, we got the P3 carbon skid plate. We also had our radiator strengthened by ECW, and Tusk actually had a universal fan. We're going to be riding this thing up in the really tight mountains this summer, and I really wanted this thing to not have any potential overheating issues, so we got a fan rigged up on there. So no one had a bolt-on fan for it, unfortunately, so that at least that I could find right away. So we went ahead and did that, and we're just running the stock handguards on here, got ODI bars and grips. And the suspension went with AHM, who does a lot of off-road Honda suspension. So they're kind of known for that, and Brandon over there, they run a good ship, so we're looking forward to trying that stuff out. And then the big news here is we got our brand new, because we delayed the shoot a little bit, we're able to get the brand new AT82 tires on here. So these are an off-road tire. The front, as you've already tested the front a little bit, the front is a really good tire, and I think some guys will even like it on motocross stuff, but off-road I think it's going to be really good and durable. And the rear is a directional, you can go either direction with it. They call it bi-directional. That's kind of an interesting term, right? Yeah. Okay, so it's a bi-directional tire. I think this scoopy side, the way we have it right now, is going to be the way we run it mostly out west, you know. So far, I've run it a little bit, and it's been really good on our other bikes. We've liked it so far, so we're looking forward to trying it. So we got our IMS big tank on here, IMS pegs, Pro X sprocket and chain. We went up one tooth on the rear to hopefully we can carry second and third a lot of the trails we're hoping. And so we're looking forward to trying this thing out and see what you think.
All right, thanks Jay. So excited to ride this thing. A lot of cool parts that I haven't got to try yet on the Honda RX. I spent some time on the RX here, but not a lot. So looking forward to see if we can tame this beast down a little bit, ride third gear and have a good time on the trails. So I'm gonna come right back and talk to you guys and break this whole thing down, and we're gonna go have some fun. All right, just wrapped up here in my backyard. I love this place, the high des. I always talk about it, but man, there's nothing else better to me. I've been a lot of places, and it's fun to ride. I just ride outside my backyard and go play ride and go mess around. And Simon shot a bunch of stuff of me going through sand washes and road jumps and just all the stuff that I grew up doing, you know, since I was in junior high. So brought Jay's CRF450RX out here, and again, I'm familiar with this area, so I can really pick a bike apart. This is not my bike. Most of these garage builds are not set up for me. It's set up for Jay and his son. But right now, I will just tell you this. If you're getting a stock RX, it is a lot of motorcycle. So you might want to broaden this up. So Jay, like you said at the top of the show, he went up a tooth. He had Jamie at Twisted Development do a Vortex ECU. And when we talk about ECUs, we're not trying to get more power. Look, we're trying to broaden it up, lengthen it out, and now we're in the off-road realm where maybe you might go ride some moto, go play ride in the hills, go ride some off-road with your son on the trails. and you want a linear friendly RX. And when you get your RX from the dealer, you're gonna be like, holy crap, it's a lot of motorcycles, a lot of low end, a lot of front side, very fast and fun, but might get you tired in that tight stuff if you're riding single track. So rode some of that stuff today. You can see on the GoPro, I got some tight washes in there. And what I like about this setup with obviously FMF system and the ECU, because this is what's gonna shape this power, is second gear is very usable. It's Simon filmed me going up some hills today and very washed out, hard pack. We had a lot of rain here recently. And unlike the stock RX, I can actually ride this thing in second gear and not have to downshift to first. The stock RX, although very friendly in first gear, it's too short. So now I can run second, get a little bit more traction, lug a little bit. So I think some of that with Jamie at the ECU realm and also the FMF system allows you to be more luggable. And that's the word that we use in the testing world, is luggability, luggable. And when you're on the tight trails, you want some of that. You want to be lazy. You want to cover the clutch a little bit and just fan it and get that recovery and just kind of chug your way up. High RPM situations, you don't want that when you trail ride. So I feel like this bike itself is better in that direction. So of course, Jay and his son are gonna go ride, and I think they'll figure that out. The next point for me is suspension. I wanna have enough hold up so I can do fun jumps like this road jump that we did, and then have enough supple feel when I hit little small rocks. I like to make my own trails out here, so I'm going through virgin terrain. There's a lot of rocks everywhere. I don't want this bike deflecting. The stock RX feels stiff, so never rode with AHM stuff, but I've seen them a lot in the off-road world out here in Southern California, and the bike itself moves quicker, but what that does on the trail, it actually soaks up a lot of that little imperfection, small rock, square edge, rain ruts, that stuff. So that stuff gets picked up really well. So I enjoyed that. The next thing is AT82 Dunlop tire. I've had time on the front tire. I like the lean angle traction. I'm not getting a lot of that out here because I'm not pushing the lean angle because it's kind of loose and cobby. But it's consistent, and I like that. Unlike the 81, where I didn't know when it was going to wash out, I have more consistency with the 82 front. And like Jay said at the top of this thing, this 82 rear, you can reverse it. So it's almost like a little half scoop, or you can just turn it around and have a straight edge. We are on the little half scoop, although not great in very hard pack situations. We get in some of those sand washes, and you're getting out of these corners, man, it gets up really good. It has that MX-14 vibe for me. So it's kind of a nice hybrid tire. Again, 81, wasn't a huge fan of the 81, but 82 so far seems like a better direction for you hybrid, off-road, moto type of guys. I come from a moto background. I ride off-road for fun. Occasionally I'll go out to a District 37 Hare and Hound, and you got to have a big tank. Never been a huge fan of having a large tank, but unlike this danger zone here, if you're a male, you don't really notice it, honestly. It's still, the seat's very flat. The width of the bike is still fairly narrow, and I don't notice this portion of the tank when I ride. When the tank was full, I noticed some top heaviness, but you can adjust that. If you're sending your suspension in, you can tell your suspension tuner, like, hey, I'm gonna have some more weight up front. They'll, give you a little bit of a stiffer setting, so when your tank is full, that weight goes up and you can have some more hold up. But otherwise, didn't really notice it. And just overall, the bike is very fun. So what I was looking for to get more luggability, which we got, still very fun to ride. And it was compliant enough for me to go have fun in the small little washes here, and also go jump some pretty sizable jumps that we have. We can go free ride and go have fun. So overall, fun bike. Jay and his son are gonna go ride this weekend. We're gonna have some weather here in Southern California, so that's always an exciting time. So I appreciate Jay letting me ride this thing, because Jay always gives me a pristine motorcycle, and then I go ride it and I feel bad because sometimes I roach it out a little bit. So looks like we came back fairly good. So I'm happy about that. And don't forget, 12 issues, $30, Racer X magazine. Get yourself a free calendar, all kinds of stuff within that magazine that you can't see here online. And don't forget, we always do these things once a month right here on racerxonline.com. If you have any questions about this bike, Kris at KeeferIncTesting.com. And if you want to get a hold of Jay, I'm sure I can transfer you over there, and you could talk about his bike. So we'll see you on the next build.